Welcome back to Mad Bets, Yahoo Sports weekly gambling show. I'm Matt Gothard, a proud member of the gambling public. Here with my buddy Jared Quay, former football player. How's it going, bud?
And a member of the gambling public. All right, I'm on the show. I'm part of the gambling family.
Well, we're just not experts, so we're part of the public proudly. We're betting with our hearts and our minds.
I'm an expert. I think I'm a sharp the way I've been hitting them 5-star picks now. I tell you right now, I'm a sharp.
Okay. Seahawks looked good last week. Anyway, we got a full show. We don't need to talk about last week too much. We got a full show this week, starting with our most confident picks, locked and loaded, followed by our friend Minty Bet stopping by for a tasty teaser, adding 7 points to 3 teams. Then your commitment of the week, followed by an upset special of my own. Then our buddy Matt Harmon stopping by for a fantasy segment, some player props. So stick around for that. Then Brad Evans is coming in for Thursday Night Football, and our friend Pamela Maldonado from Oddshark is stopping by for college football. It's a packed show, man. I'm excited.
College kind of killed me last week, so we need Pam.
It did, but you know what didn't kill us last week? Was our locked and loaded picks. So let's go into it. Locked and loaded. What is your best pick of the week, Jared?
All right, guys, my best pick of the week is a money line parlay. That's right, guys. I'm taking the Saints to just beat the Cardinals at home, not by 9.5. I'm taking the Rams to beat the Bengals, just beat them, not by 13. And I'm taking the Green Bay Packers going to play in Kansas City, but maybe without Patrick Mahomes. Even with him, I still like the Packers money line. If you bet these 3 teams, you'll get plus 110 odds. I'm going heavy on it. That's 5-star. Those are 3 winners right there. Teams that need to win, they need this win. Guys, it's easy money.
I love it, man. We haven't done nearly enough of these bets this year where you go through and you just find 3 or 4 teams that you feel like should win. So really, you're betting that the Packers will win and that the rest of the world will just kind of fall into place.
That's the easiest one. The only one that's risky is the Packers one. I think the Bengals have the worst run-stop defense going against the Rams, and I think their offensive line is struggling. Aaron Donald's going to have a field day. The Saints have the best defense in the game, and they're going against the Cardinals coming into their house. They may not win by 9.5. I think they do, but I'll take them money line. And the Green Bay Packers have some of the best edge rushers in the game. Preston and Zadarius Smith have 13 sacks this season, and if Matt Moore's at quarterback, he's not elusive like Pat Mahomes. It may get ugly.
I could see all 3 teams covering, and then you're going to be mad. Because, the Rams could obviously blow out the Bengals. You always say it. There's a lot of blowouts that happen in London. I could see the Cardinals just completely laying an egg. Saints beat them. I think that's teaser material, but we could talk about that later. And I love the Packers. I love the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is awesome.
They may all cover, and I wouldn't be mad. I made money, but I may be like, man, I could have made way more money than it did. But I'm going to take money line. Greed is where you lose. You got to win with safe bets. Expert, baby. Experts.
All right, well, with that being said, I'm getting greedy, and I'm going to take the Packers -4 on the road against Kansas City for a couple different reasons. When I set this line, I always do this. I go through and I put what I think the line is first, and then I compare it to what Vegas is, and that's how I make my picks.
What'd you have?
I had this -7. And Vegas thinks it's -7. They're just giving the Chiefs 3 points for being at home. But it's probably Matt Moore or a one-legged Pat Mahomes. And both of those sound like losing options against Aaron Rodgers. So Packers -4, lock it in.
And the thing about it is Packers used to be just Aaron Rodgers, but now they have Aaron Jones running the ball well, Jamal Williams running the ball well, and their defense is pretty good this year. They're getting sacks. They got a pass rush. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is he might be the second best Aaron of this game this week.
Because Aaron Jones?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's they just can't stop the defense, the Chiefs. So if you're going to allow the Packers to run it for 5 yards, how amazing is Aaron Rodgers' life going to be? Plus, that poor secondary. I just feel bad for the secondary. The Chiefs have a good team with Pat Mahomes on the field. We'll find out what they look like without him.
I mean, the Lions almost beat the Chiefs.
They did.
With Pat Mahomes. So
They did.
All right.
So we love the Packers.
All right. My next pick, locked and loaded, guys, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers +2.5 against the Titans. Honestly, you should go money line. Tampa Bay is coming off a bye, and get this, Bruce Arians is perfect off a bye in his 4 years as a coach. He's never had a season worse than 8-8. He prepares really well. And then my next best reason is Tennessee loves to run the ball. Guess who's the #1 run-stop defense in the NFL this year? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They shut down Christian McCaffrey. They shut down the Rams and Todd Gurley. They're going to shut down Derrick Henry, guys. This one is a pretty easy pick for me. I think Jameis Winston, it all depends on how he does with a bye week off. And Mike Evans and Godwin, I think he has the talent there to beat the Titans pretty bad.
I like it, man. I mean, I don't like it nearly as much as your 3-team parlay or the Packers, but that probably means that it's going to hit. Because we've talked about this in the NFL. When you feel okay about a pick,
I'm finna win
usually
both.
a lot better.
I'm finna win both.
I know that about Arians. That's a good little nugget there.
Yeah. He's off a bye. He's pretty good.
I think when I did my top 5 teams that I hate in the NFL, the Titans were definitely, I think, 3 or 2. So they're up there. I definitely wouldn't be betting on them. And the Bucs have done well this year, so I'll take the Bucs. I'll take the Bucks. You know who else I'm going to take?
Who you taking?
I'm taking the team that didn't cover for you last week, but they're going to cover for me this week. The Seattle Seahawks, -5.5 at the Atlanta Falcons. There's a cheat code to betting the NFL this year. You find the Atlanta Falcons, and then you look at the team that's playing them, and you put all your money on that team because the Falcons are sorry. You know in college, when you fail class, and it's before the midterm so you can still drop out and it doesn't affect you,
Yeah.
and you start selling your books to people while people still are going to buy them because they might pick that class up? That's the Atlanta Falcons right now. Season's over. Selling Sanu off. You know, we're going to get rid of Dan Quinn. Seahawks need this win bad because they're still a playoff team, but if they drop this game, they're not. I think they're going to blow them out.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the Falcons are having a yard sale right now with all their players that are on high contracts. I think they're ready to tank this season and see what they can start new with the pieces. Home field advantage used to be a thing for the Falcons, but this year they've just been BAD.
Bad.
Russell needs a good tight end play, and that's the only thing, but I still like betting against the Falcons.
Well, the Seahawks are 7-1 in their last 8 road games against the spread. And you know, speaking of a good record against the spread, I think it's time for a tasty teaser with Minty Betts, who's 2-0 on our show so far. Minty, how's it going? Last week I ruined it for everybody, but this week is not going to be the same. Let's do another 7-point teaser. Who are you adding to it, Minty?
All right, so this week I'm teasing the Panthers from +5.5 to +12.5. We know the Niners are a good team, but the Panthers just had a bye week, so they've had a full week of rest. They're ready to get back on the field and play. Their offense is averaging 27 points per game, and their defense, though, is producing about 3 turnovers a game, and they've been able to convert those takeaways into 54 points this season. Also, their pass rush is solid, and I think they're going to put enough pressure on Jimmy G to keep the score kind of close and no more than a touchdown and some change apart.
I like it. You're 2-0 so far, so I'd be an idiot not to tell you. Jared, who are you adding?
I like Minty's pick. I'm doing the same one. No, I'm playing. I'm taking the Oakland Raiders from +6.5 to +13.5 against the Texans. Raiders are a road team this year. They beat the Colts, and that game against the Packers was a lot closer. It was a fumble into the end zone that turned into a touchback that made it more wider than it is. I think Chucky got some boys on the right way. Josh Jacobs going to have a good game running the ball. It's going to be a lot closer than 13.5.
I like that. I like that a lot. And I also like taking the Saints from -9.5 down to -2.5 at home against the Cardinals. I don't have to say a whole lot more other than it's the Saints at home against the Cardinals. So I'm feeling that one. I'm feeling all 3. Hopefully I can win one this week.
We're going to win this week, guys. If you're watching this, go ahead. This is the one that's going to win, all right?
High level confidence. If you want to tweet at Minty Betts, at Minty Betts on Twitter, she has all your betting needs. Thanks, Minty.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that wraps up our tasty teaser. It's time for your commitment of the week.
It's time for my commitment pick of the week. And this week, I got an easy one. It's a no-brainer, and it probably won't win you much money. But I'm taking, got to change hats for this one. The Pittsburgh Steelers, baby. They're playing the Dolphins. Obviously, the Dolphins are terrible, but that's not why I'm picking them. I'm picking them because they have a good coach, a good offensive line, and a good defense. My 3 principles of betting: sure, they might not win you money, but when else can you pick the Pittsburgh Steelers? They're coming off a bye and they're playing the Dolphins. Let's get this money. They're -750, but I just like wearing the hat too because the hat made me look good.
Wow, we got Vegas Dave, or actually Vegas Jared here with his whale pick of the week. I love it. I love it. Don't give me that look.
I'm telling you, first and foremost, it's a well pick, but I will say this. It's the Dolphins. They're trying to lose. If the Dolphins win this game, they'd be mad. The coach is going to curse them out in the locker room. You guys disgust me. You guys went out there and you played tough, and you got a hard-fought win, and now we won't get the #1 pick. You guys just say hello to Cincinnati Bengals and Tua.
No, I mean, there's no value really in betting-wise, but there's a lot of value for still in the survivor pool because there's not another time, like you said, that you want to pick the Steelers. I'm just giving you a hard time. I understand that you're not saying to bet on them, but I like it.
I mean, you can bet on them, throw them on a
parlay. I like the hat, too. I like the hat.
Toss them on a parlay if you want to keep your money till Monday. Keep it busy till Monday, you can throw them on a parlay.
Where'd you get the hat, Jared?
I got this hat from the Yahoo Sports Shop, and you can get one just like this. Go ahead.
Get your favorite team merchandise at Yahoo Sports Fan Shop.
All right, it's time for my upset special of the week. Right now, I'm 2-1 on upset specials. The only team to lose so far was the Bengals. I got the Bucks to beat the Rams. I got the Packers to beat the Cowboys. And this week, I'm telling you, the Cleveland Browns +500 at the New England Patriots. Call me crazy, but they have a lot of talent on this team. This is probably the best team that the Patriots have played so far. I know it's in Foxborough, so they got the refs that are going to be on their side, but I could see the Browns pulling this off. because there's so much pressure on this Browns team to do well, but this is like one of the only games where they're expected to lose. So they got nothing to lose. They can just go out there. Baker Mayfield can just wing it around. And I like to see Odell Beckham make a difference in this one. So Browns plus 500.
I think you're crazy. But you can make money being crazy, guys. I mean, it's not out of the box. I mean, Freddie Kitchens isn't a better coach than Bill Belichick. He did have a bye week, and I'm hoping he can cook up a good offensive plan. They have the weapons. Odell Beckham, Juice Landry, Nick Chubb. And if Baker Mayfield can get kind of mobile and open up the pocket a little bit, Myles Garrett gets to Tom Brady a couple plays, they could possibly lose by just 7. That's all I'm saying.
Anytime that you're betting against the Patriots, you have to accept that your coach is inferior to Bill Belichick. So I'm just saying, let's take Freddie Kitchens out of this. Let's just say it becomes street ball. They could do it.
Freddie Kitchens?
He's going to do it.
He better get cooking. He better be cooking in that kitchen, I'll tell you that.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Go
you
ahead.
got to give me some props because that's a pretty ballsy bet.
It is going to hit. When
And
it
I think it's time for our next segment. Give me some props with Matt Harmon, our fantasy football expert. Matt Harmon, how's it going, man? Thank you so much for stopping by. I got 3 fantasy prop bets for you. First one, who's going to have more total touchdowns, Josh Allen or Carson Wentz?
I'm going Josh Allen here. Obviously, you get a bit of a boost from the rushing equity, but my biggest reason here, and I am so happy to be able to say this, is because John Brown is having a #1 type wide receiver season. I think he dusts that Eagles secondary, which has been super problematic, giving up a ton of production to wide receivers. So I love Brown in this spot, and I think that is going to boost up Allen. And with the rushing equity, too, I think you got to take him with the total touchdowns here.
All right, cool. Jared, what are you thinking?
I'm going Carson Wentz, baby. Zach Ertz, Alshon Jeffrey, and unlike Aguilar, all those 2 guys are going to catch touchdown passes. Carson Wentz, baby.
I'm taking Josh Allen. I think that Matt's right. And I also think it's going to be a low-scoring game, so 2 touchdowns might even do it here. So, all right, we're both on Josh Allen. You're on Carson Wentz. Next one, over under 1.5 passing touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers against the Chiefs this weekend. What are you thinking, Harmon?
I would love this have been, the Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers shootout type game where they're going back and forth, and it looks like we're probably not going to get that. But even so, this is so soft of a line here for Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to go over. The Chiefs defense is nothing that scares me, and Aaron Rodgers is obviously cooking. I think this is the offense coming into full-fledged form, so I think you have to take over here.
All right, that sounds good to me. Jared, what are you thinking?
The Chiefs can't stop the run, so I think they're going to run a lot. And I'm just hoping that Aaron Rodgers does a little flick to the running back as he scores and it causes a pass touchdown. So I'm going to take the over 2.
All right, I have Aaron Rodgers on my fantasy team, so I'd be, putting myself in a bad spot if I said under. So I'm taking over 1.5 touchdowns there.
You got to bet against it if you have it on your fantasy.
No, I'm not betting
bet
against
it so one of them wins.
You're crazy, Jared. All right, last one. More passing touchdowns, Baker Mayfield or Tom Brady. Matt, who are you taking?
I mean, I feel like an idiot, but I'm going to take Baker Mayfield here, and I'm just going to bet with the math on this one. Baker Mayfield is 31st in touchdown rate right now. That is touchdowns per passing attempt, and I think that is going to regress to the mean. He was 11th in that metric last year. He just has 5 touchdown passes all year. I'm just thinking at some point he's going to get right, and obviously this is the toughest matchup possible, but give me a break. He's not going to stay that low in touchdown rate all year, and also the Patriots just cannot keep up the pace of allowing like 1 touchdown to every 10 interceptions. So I think both of those things regress to the mean here. I'm just betting with math, and I'm taking Baker Mayfield in this spot. And I feel like an idiot doing it, but you got to feel like an idiot sometimes.
Quay, what do you think? You taking Baker?
Absolutely not. Tom Brady and he has a receiver with Sanu now, and I like that. And obviously Philip Dorsett's good. I think that this one, and honestly, Ben Watson played great, and they're going against the Browns, so I think he's going to have to, throw the ball a little bit more than run it. So I'm taking Brady.
All right, I'm going with Baker Mayfield too. I picked the Browns to win straight up, which they're probably not going to do. But if they're going to do that, we're going to need some touchdowns from our boy Baker. So, all right. Those are 3 prop bets for this week. If you have any other fantasy advice that you need, tweet at @MattHarmon_BYB. Thank you so much for stopping by, Matt.
Hey, my pleasure, guys. And Jared, I'm so sorry you went with both of the sheep picks when you picked against me. But, we Wolves here, we keep hunting.
All right. We'll get him back on the show afterwards, and I want to replay that clip so I can tell him, no, Harmon, no. This week is a lot of ugly games being played. In fact, there's nothing that jumps off the screen, so I can't wait to get to I Don't Hate It because I hate a lot of these games.
Let's do it. Let's eliminate the games that we hate and finally find one that we do.
What game you not betting on?
All right, the first game that I'm not betting on is the Los Angeles Chargers +4 against the Chicago Bears.
Ooh, yeah.
The Chargers have had a rough season, and so I just have one thing to say to them and their fans. Forget you, man. Forget you. You're not a part of my life anymore, and I'm definitely not betting on the Bears to score a touchdown. I'm staying so far away from this game, I'm moving to New York because I can't be close to this team at all anymore. So I hate that game.
I lost money on them last week, man. I was so mad that I lost them money. I was like, man, where Melvin Gordon live? I'm about to go get my money back. He got it. Nah, he don't. He need a new contract. That's why. But you don't get a new contract unless you score touchdowns, man. Don't bet on that game at all. I'm fading the Chargers for the rest of the year. I'm not betting against them, not betting for them because they will beat you either way.
Melvin Gordon is so good at holding out, but not good enough to hold on to the ball. So I'm just, the salt is real. Jared, who do you hate? Because we need to move on before I have an aneurysm up here.
All right, I ain't gonna lie. This is a game I don't know who's gonna win, and I don't really want to bet on it because of that. The Buffalo Bills and the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles are good against good teams, bad against bad teams, and I don't know what to expect from them. The Buffaloes are all defense, no offense. This game could go either way. If I had to bet, I would bet the under, but
that sounds fun.
I'm not touching it. I mean, the defense is good enough, but Carson Wentz is the luckiest quarterback you've ever seen. He's the luckiest guy ever.
I'd stay away from that game. That just screams bad football. Like you said, low scoring. Maybe take the under, but like, is life really worth it to take the under in the Eagles against the Bills?
And who wants to take the under? The under just makes you watch football, look for bad football. You're like, yes, 3-yard gains.
I hate betting the under. You know what? I also hate this next game. The Denver Broncos +6 on the road in Indy. My heart's telling me to bet on Indy, but I cannot bet on any more Broncos games because I just don't know what team we're going to get. Like, they look bad against Matt Moore and the Kansas City Chiefs last week. So I'm staying away from that. I'd lean Indy, I guess. Also another under I like.
Yeah, and they got rid of Emmanuel Sanders, but somehow they got a little extra time because they played on Thursday. So I like Indy, but you never know. Denver, they surprise people, man. They beat the Chargers, and they cost me money there, too.
Yeah, they surprised me enough that I wouldn't even feel good about teasing Indy down because it's like, well, if they're going to, they might just lose.
Yeah.
So I'm staying away from that. There's one more game if you want to take it off the list.
I'm taking the Lions versus the Giants off the list. I think it's going to be a high scoring. I mean, obviously, Matt Patricia's doing a good job with the Lions, and Matt Stafford's been pretty good. But at the same time, Daniel Jones has a little bit of magic to him. You never know what they're going to do with Saquon coming back. I just wouldn't bet on it because it's a lot of points, and I don't know if the Lions even are good enough to cover that points or if the Giants can come back. And I mean, they beat the Tampa Bay, who was a pretty good team, too. So just leave me and Daniel Jones away from each other for a little while.
I was thinking about teasing that segment or that team. I was going to take the Giants up at first, and then I was thinking about taking the Lions down to pick them. I was going back and forth, and then this morning I switched it to the Saints, so our producer wanted to kill me. But I don't want to touch that game at all, so I'm staying away from it.
Giants are tricky, right?
Both those teams are tricky. They're both tricky blue teams. So let's move on to the game that we don't hate. I think we disagree on it, though. The New York Jets against your Jacksonville Jaguars. +6 for the Jets, man.
I don't hate the Jaguars at all because I love the Jaguars -6. Hate to say it, bro, but you might need to get mono again because the Jacksonville Jaguars are hungry. All right. But yeah, no, Jacksonville's finna come alive in Jacksonville, and it's finna be popping.
Well, last week I teased for our Hate It game. I teased the Dolphins up 7 and the under up 7, and that hit. So I'm going to do the same thing this week. I'm going to tease the Jets up to 13 and the under up to 48.5. And I like that two-team teaser. Doesn't pay out a whole lot, but if I was going to bet on this game, I like that. I think it's going to be low scoring.
The line keeps moving, though. I don't know if it moves to past 7.5. I might think.
Man.
I think the Jets could cover 7.5.
Jets money line starts to get a little tasty, Jared.
You just
tasty,
why
Jared.
be risky? We trying to make money. Why you want to be that risky, huh?
That's
if you were killing. If you're killing on the week, take the money line. But if you want to win money and be good, take the Jaguars up to 7.
Over under 2.5 sacks for Calais.
Under. If I think he does bad, he does great. When I think he's gonna do great, he's like, yo, I just chilled out this game.
All right.
So I'm gonna take under so that he has 4 sacks and I feel good.
All right, Jags gonna eat. Jags are gonna eat, and we gotta eat too. It's time for Thursday Night Football.
Boom, boom, boom! I'm excited, baby. Brad has been wrong. I've been beating y'all. I've been killing y'all on Thursdays. I've been killing y'all.
Brad, how's it going, buddy? Thursday Night Football is back yet again. This week, the Redskins +16 on the road against the Vikings. Who do you got?
Well, believe it or not, I'm taking Washington to the points here. I mean, 16's a ton in the NFL. The public is hammering the living daylights out of the Minnesota Vikings right now. And I think, honestly, I'm going to fade the majority here as Washington, 38% of the public spread ticket action on the Redskins in this one. And I'm going to side with the lower end of that spectrum. Look, I understand that Adrian Peterson is highly questionable, may or may not play, and Washington's got a ton of shortcomings defensively, guys. But I believe they will make this somewhat competitive enough to cover and this is the only reason I'm watching this game is betting on it. Why would you otherwise?
There is no other reason. Jared, who are you betting on?
I'm siding with Brad here because Brad's pretty good when we side together with each other. That's my only other reason. No, honestly, I think it's a revenge game for multiple people, Kirk Cousins and Case Keenum. Adrian Peterson, if he plays a revenge game there. But my honest reason is the Redskins have a good run-stop defense. They're going to force Kirk Cousins to throw. And they didn't want to pay him money, so obviously they know his flaws. I just think Josh Norman maybe gets a pick, and I think this game's a 10-point game. I think they would lose by 10.
I'm just happily accepting my role as a public bettor. So I'm taking the Vikings minus 16. I feel like we haven't seen a blowout yet, and this is kind of shaping up. Kirk Cousins is going to want to blow them out, so I'm taking the Vikings. But the over-under is at 42. Brad, what are you thinking for that one?
Give me the under. Washington under in 4 of its last 5 games. I know it was a mud pit last week, so Mother Nature wreaking havoc in that one, but still the under's been hitting consistently with this team. Minnesota also under in 9 of its last 13 contests. So if all the trends here, if all the fact that it's going to be a heavy 1-2 punch of Dalvin Cook and Alexander Mattison late in this game, and take the under, it's going to be something like 23-10, I will say, Minnesota.
All right, calling the final score, 23-10. Jared, what are you thinking?
I'm taking the under solely because I want this game to get over as fast as possible. Both teams run the ball. Get them out of there. Come on. The last game against the 49ers went fast, so this one's going to go fast too.
I'm taking the under, too, just because we don't know the Redskins can actually score against this defense. So I think we all finally agree on something. I don't know if that means Republic or Sharps, but I'll just leave that we'll see what happens tonight. But the prop bet of the week is Dalvin Cook over under 99.5 rushing yards. Brad, as the fantasy guy, what are you thinking?
Oh, I'm hammering the over on this one, especially a plus 182. I mean, that's free money in my estimation. I mean, Dalvin Cook has done this consistently this year. In fact, he's done it 4 times in 7 contests. Washington is dreadful defending the run. 10th most fantasy points allowed to the running back position. They've given up well north of 4 yards per carry to RBs. Dalvin Cook, top 5 in yards after contact per attempt. Top 5 in broken tackle percentage. Top 5 in my heart, gentlemen, as a fantasy enthusiast of him. He hits triple digits with ease.
Oh, I love it. I love it. What are you thinking, Jared?
I'm so glad I could finally get to fade Brad one of these picks. I didn't want to go all straight with him. I was like, woo. But yes, no, Dalvin Cook doesn't get 100 yards. The Redskins have a good run-stop defense, and I just think that they don't get it. They shut down Tevin Coleman and Matt Breida last week. They're going to shut down Dalvin Cook.
All right, well, I'm taking the over because if he doesn't hit 100 yards, they're not covering the 16. So that's all. I'm sitting with the over with Dalvin Cook there. Brad, who else do you like this week? What's your best bet on Sunday?
Well, there are a number of games that I like. Depending upon if Patrick Mahomes is going to be in uniform, I do like the under in Green Bay, Kansas City at 47.5. But again, if Mahomes suits up miraculously, that may change my opinion there. But I think the Tennessee Titans are the bet of the week. Only 39% of the public spread tickets right now on Tennessee. They're hosting Tampa Bay at home. The Buccaneers have been dreadful at the bottom of Davy Jones's locker here in their last 20 road contests with a 4-16 record straight up. So, I don't see them being competitive in this game. Ryan Tannehill has completed 80% of his attempts the last couple of contests, and Tampa Bay cannot ground any passing attack whatsoever. Pull it all together, and yes, I am backing a Ryan Tannehill general team, believe it or not. I think the Titans win this game by 7 or more.
That is some bad news for my boy Jared over here.
That's the worst opposite one, man.
He's all in on the.
They beat Carolina and the Rams in LA this year, so the road is good for them this year.
I don't know. Maybe you guys got to put something on the line. We'll do that.
Underdog cover, straight up win, money line.
Oh man! All right. Well, for any of your other betting or fantasy needs, get at Brad on Twitter at Yahoo Noise. Thanks, Brad. All right, that wraps it up for our pro football coverage. But it wouldn't be a gambling show if we didn't go back to school this week with Pamela Maldonado from Oddshark. Pamela, thank you so much for joining us. 60-29 this year on college football. You are killing it. Please give us a winner. What's your best bet for this weekend?
I am rolling with Iowa State minus 10.5. I've always said that if you are going to be a one-dimensional offense, then you better have the defense to back it up. And Oklahoma State is a run-first team with no defensive strength. They are 7th in the country in offensive rushing yards per attempt, so really strong on that run game, but they rank 90th in opponent offensive touchdowns, which means they are allowing teams to put up 7 points against them. The Cyclones are 9th in the nation, averaging 10 yards per pass. The Cowboys allowed Charlie Brewer 312 passing yards on only 17 attempts with a 76% completion. So now they're going up against a team who can both run and pass with a better quarterback who is completing 70% of his passes, has over 2,100 yards, 14 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions through 7 games compared to 9 from Sanders, and they can also defend. So Oklahoma State has back-to-back losses, and that downward trend is definitely going to continue this game.
Ooh,
All right, Cyclones, sign me up. I'm from Iowa, so it's really hard not to get on the Cyclones train. That's a lot of stats that point that way.
Definitely.
Jared, who are you taking?
You know what? She had a lot of stats. I'm taking a team with a lot of points. I'm taking Clemson minus 33.5 against Boston College. That's a lot of points, but I don't know if you watch Boston College here. They allow a lot of points, and all they can do is run. They're playing with a backup walk-on quarterback and starting quarterback. He's not very accurate, and they run the ball, but you know who stops the run? Clemson. And they also run at a high-paced tempo, so I think this game goes over, but definitely Clemson's going to score 50 points. Now, if Boston College can score 20, maybe this would be a game, but I don't think so. Clemson minus 33.5.
All right, well, you picked my hometown team. I'm going to pick your hometown team. Texas -1 against TCU this week. If anybody's seen the jerseys that TCU is wearing, they are so ugly they deserve to lose just for wearing those. But Texas can control the ball too, and if they get up by any amount of lead, I like the Longhorns to win. So those are 3 really good college picks for you. I love Iowa State. If you want to follow Pamela on Twitter, follow her at PamelaM35 or at OddShark. Thanks so much for stopping by, Pam.
Thanks,
Pam.
guys.
All right, that wraps it up for us this week. Make sure you get all of our college picks on the Yahoo Sports app on Saturday on the Gold Rush. One last pick, Alan Springer, our EP, says he's picking Packers -4. So let's hope he doesn't jinx it. This has been Mad Bets, everybody. Good luck on week 8.
Make some money.